Now we get to the technical aspects. The best director, and it's a great bunch, of persons. Sadly, there are no female nominees. Mm-hmm. It's been a controversial year with the nominations.
Right.
We've got the So White Oscar.
Yeah.
Or
Will
two
Smith's wife kind of started a frenzy.
And then there are no women nominated here.
Should there be?
That I really thought about that. Thinking about doing this show, and again I go back to, in an ideal world, the talent would be there, and I'm not saying there weren't some talented people.
Right.
I did see Beast of No Nation with Idris Elba, and he was amazing in that as a kid, and he got a lot of buzz. I thought Michael B. Jordan was good.
Excellent, yeah. Creed.
In Creed. So there were opportunities, but people vote as people vote.
Right.
But I would hate for anybody to get an award and it be diminished by saying they only got it because of their race, they only got it because of their sex.
And you said earlier in the show, the work should stand alone.
The work
ideally
right. should stand alone. But who in this, we've got Adam McKay for The Big Short. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that.
We will.
We've got George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road. Alejandro G. Inarritu for The Revenant. Lenny Abramson for Room, and Tom McCarthy for Spotlight.
Absolutely.
And Tom Hooper should be in there for The Danish Girl. I really do think.
You don't think just the acting performances were so amazing that
I just thought the whole complexity of the movie and the way he fitted it together was amazing. Right. The look of the movie, the musical score, the acting performances, the script. I mean, you can't have all that come together without a strong director.
Right. Very true. Very true.
So, individually those have all been recognized, but I'm still saying, how do you have all that come together and not recognize the director? But who do you think is the weak link in that group?
Lenny Abramson.
I do too.
Yeah, and that's the guy for Room.
Yeah.
The concept was great, but he did not pull it off. Or at least not to our
satisfaction.
Right. Absolutely.
He could have done so much more with that movie.
I agree.
In that movie, it drove me crazy in a lot of movies this year. But William H. Macy played her father.
Right, yeah.
And had one scene.
Right.
Or maybe two.
Yeah, and it was a pretty powerful one.
But still, it was...
That's a waste.
It was a waste. You could have expanded on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Joan Allen was the mother.
Yep.
And she's a really strong, tremendous actress. And you touched on the abrasiveness between the two, mother and daughter, even though she was so glad her daughter was out of that situation. But it never got the full treatment.
Right, and they threw a lot at us after they got out of the room.
Yes.
The step, because she had a new guy.
The stepfather.
They were split up, and there was obviously tension, and so once again, it should have been more focused on the actual Room.
You and I say that. Having said that, I will say, your guy, Adam McKay, for The Big Short, who has in the past directed Will Ferrell comedies.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting.
Which is interesting because there were comic overtones.
Yeah, there was comedic parts. Yeah, because it was a serious topic.
It was a serious situation
that we all went through.
The big crash of
2008 to 2007. Yeah. And that one hit home for me though. Once the guys, in the movie, spoiler alert, there were a few guys that saw it coming, and the rest of us didn't. But then once you realize that they didn't celebrate that they saw it coming,
you didn't see me over in the corner.
A few more people
it's
made
coming.
It to this one. But I thought it really, that one should hit home for all of the people that saw that one.
But I did think that Adam McKay took his comedic abilities, focused it on a serious subject, and gave you a good combination of because it was just the absurdity of the situation.
And it's a boring topic. If you didn't put a little lightheartedness in it, I mean, you already didn't. We'll talk about it in a minute.
You thought he covered that up better than I thought he did.
Right, and I just because I don't think the average person would ever want to see that, and I thought he made it seeable. Yeah. For just the average person. So I thought
somewhat seeable.
Somewhat seeable.
I did think Tom McCarthy did a fantastic job with Spotlight.
Yeah, and just I grew up in Boston, so I want to bring that accent, and I want to tell you his real name, Tommy McCarthy. I mean, that's how we're really gonna say a good old New England boy with the accent. We don't say Tom. We're all Tommy and Maddie and Billy and Bobby and Joey and Jimmy up in the Northeast. So,
well, how did you come on with them? Were you Kevin McCalloomy?
Yeah, I didn't have the traditional New England name, unfortunately. Yeah, you're right. But all my friends, all simple.
Hey, what's wrong with your name?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to my parents after the show. But yeah, I don't know if it might be too strong to say it was a perfect movie. But I think it was
well done.
From minute one to the end, substance packed full, not too much. I just thought it was amazing.
And it did have overtones of All the President's Men.
Yes.
In that it was the journalistic, investigative
right
element.
Yeah.
And with everything on electronic, computer, etc. It's nice to see a movie where journalism and newspaper.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's still topical and still
physical
news. People should go see go to Boston Globe online, and you can read the articles from that movie, which are pretty impressive.
And I have also, because we do look all this stuff up, but the people that Keaton and Ruffalo and McAdams, etc., played, they look similar.
Yeah. Not only do they act like they
and they're not
look
that
like
old.
them, right?
Because this took place 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was. I thought that again, you've got to give McCarthy credit. I mean, he had a stellar cast.
He was amazing
to work with. He had an engrossing
Win-Win.
Yeah, but nothing that was real big though.
No, it wasn't real big, but it was kind of quirky.
No, when I heard his name, I went back and looked up, and I thought, yeah, I saw that, and it was good, but nothing that put him on the map.
No, he did that TV show Boston Public, which I used to like a little bit, and he was a writer on The Wire, which was a show on HBO.
Was he on Boston Public?
Yeah, he did that show.
I like that show.
I did too.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Try McBride.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You learned something
today.
That
was a David.
Wow, from the Green Grasshopper. The veteran just learned something. That doesn't happen very often. Thank you. George Miller, Mad Max.
I thought Mad Max was just unbelievable.
I loved it.
I did too.
Loved it.
And I didn't think I would.
Because
I really thought no Mel Gibson.
Right.
We've seen all this, jalopy-looking cars that were just crazy before. What are they going to bring new into this?
They did with no CGI virtually.
Tom Hardy,
Tom
Hardy,
good.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to talk about. She was snubbed for Best Actress
she was
supporting, probably actress because she carried that film.
Yeah,
she was amazing. I know in our last, I had a little note to talk about her, but I wanted to at least throw her in there and give her some recognition. I thought she was.
Do you recognize the name Riley Keough?
I'm sorry, I don't, but please help me.
Okay, she was one of the women in the back of the.
Oh,
group.
Okay.
Right, and they were being taken.
Right, the one who got shot
captured.
and ended up passing.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
But she is Elvis Presley's granddaughter.
Is that right?
I mean, that just amazes me.
Yeah.
Lisa Marie Presley's daughter.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. And now I'm trying to picture which one it was in there.
But when you go back, you'll have a greater appreciation. Elvis's granddaughter's in that.
Yes.
In that band. But that was just a rock'em sock'em, raucous, over the top. If you want to compare it to any other movie, The Hateful Eight would be the closest thing that to me that would come to. Not as much. There's much more action.
Right, but I did care.
But over the top.
Which I was surprised by. Like a lot of action, but I cared.
And the visual.
Oh man, that's the big screen movie that you should.
Yes, you cannot appreciate that on TV or a computer.
Right, that and The Revenant. And we'll talk about Inarritu. You didn't think just the scenery needed to be seen on a big screen? Well, let's talk about it.
You had to bring it down.
I had to because he's at the top of my list for Best Director.
Okay.
Who should win and who will win?
All right, go ahead. You tell me.
Well, Inarritu should win in my mind, and he will win. And he will win. There were some
Inarritu should win?
Yeah.
Just because he showed nice sunlight.
Because people almost died. People quit the set because he shot it in all sunlight. Because he went to, anytime you push yourself like Redmayne and you do something out of the norm, you lose all this weight. Anytime you push the physical limits, they reward you for that in Hollywood. So they're going to reward him for that.
Who do you think I say should win?
Should win? I'm going to say you like the Spotlight guy.
No.
George Miller.
Yes.
I can live with that.
I think George Miller. George Miller.
I'm jumping on board. Can I switch?
No.
Oh!
I have this all by myself.
No.
George Miller did Babe. Did you know that?
I did not.
The kid movie. George Miller directed that.
Babe 2?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But he did the original, Mad Max.
Right.
Then he did Babe, which was 180 degrees. And now here he is back. with a Mad Max, the sequel. He is an amazing director, and he's older than me.
Is he?
I mean, he's an old guy.
48?
49.
49, okay.
And it's amazing. But I do say that Naruto is going to win.
Yeah.
And, the show has started.
Yeah.
Here he goes.
But I'm glad you voted for George Miller.
But we're going to take a quick break and going to talk. We'll come back. We'll talk about those people, the snubs.
Oh, yeah.
The
those
snubs.
Get the recognition.
And then we'll go with Best Picture.
Sound like a plan.
All right.